first, before I even get into this, as you can see, I have to rep my Atlanta Braves, the National League champs. As you know, we beat the Dodgers last night. We're going to be in the World Series against the Houston Astros. Go ahead and get it out the way. I will be talking about these guys tomorrow. So be tuned in. It's around 7 o'clock tomorrow. I'm going to talk about the Braves, talk about the World Series coming up and all that. So be on the lookout for that. But I don't know how we won that football game. That football game was almost a typical Falcon loss, but we found a way to win that football game. Hold on, let me see. Hey, bro. Hey, Twan. He's telling me, hey, from YouTube. What's going on, everybody? But the Falcons somehow, somewhere are 3-3. And I get it, it's against the first of all, the Dolphins had no business getting back into that football game. None. But the Falcons just wanted to Falcon that game. They just wanted to give us a heart attack today. It didn't make any sense. Let's see. Hey, sis. Thank you. Falcons completed the weekend. That would have been embarrassing for us to lose that game after the high that we are all on right now with the Braves going to the World Series. That would have been an embarrassing loss for the Falcons. And let's see. Quincy, what's going on, bro? He said, right. Corey, what's going on, bro? He said, great win, roller coaster. Oh, my God. It's always a roller coaster ride when it comes to these Falcons. Hey, Miss Bridget, she said, yes. I'm so glad we found a way to win that football game. Amy said, we scored in the third and the top of the fourth for the first time ever, didn't actually come. Yes, despite us having that Falcon moment in the middle of the game, which could have completely blew us, we could have completely lost that game. The Falcons still found a way to win. Let me also get this out the way, and I know we're all thinking about it. Anybody that thought that Kyle Pitts was a bust, please reconsider what you're saying, because Kyle Pitts is the real deal. Kyle Pitts had a day. I think he had over 175 yards receiving. I'm going to check the stat line in a few minutes, but Kyle Pitts is the real deal. And to me, Kyle Pitts might be a positionless player. I know a lot of folks, he's listed as a tight end, but to me, you can line him up on the outside. He's a tight end that can play receiver. And it's not that I don't feel that he's capable of not being able to play straight up tight end, but this guy is so versatile, you can use him anywhere. Let's see, Amy got the unicorn. That's right, the unicorn. But Kyle Pitts is the real deal. He absolutely is panning out to be everything that I thought he would be. I think the first couple of weeks, the Falcons just didn't know how to get him the ball, and just is learning a new scheme under Arthur Smith. And again, I like Kyle Pitts. I really, really like Kyle Pitts. And I think he has a bright future in this league. He's definitely going to be somebody that's going to be an impact player for the Falcons already. I think he's already. Let me go to the comments. Terror Artist, what's going on, bro? If you are on YouTube, make sure you follow my guy. He has gaming. He has all kind of things up there. He does gaming. He talks about the Falcons as well. Please go ahead and get that man a follow. He's a great follow. I think he's getting close to 700 followers. If I'm wrong, let me know. I'll correct it. But he got a lot of subscribers. Please get his subscribers up. He got great content over there. But as he said, if we don't have Kyle Pitts, we lose. Absolutely. Kyle Pitts won this football game for us in many ways. That throw and catch on that game-winning drive was absolutely outstanding. Also great game clock management at the end by Arthur Smith. They didn't, once they got their first down, they didn't make any dumb decision. They just ran that clock, and got it down to time for Young Hoku to kick a field goal. He said he had 776. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me. He's at 776. You guys can get him to 800 or higher. Get him there. Bridget said, this is what we do when boys did what they had to do. Yeah, it was an ugly win, but a win is a win. You're 500. You now are at worst third place in the division, pending what happens with New Orleans tomorrow night in Seattle. You got Carolina coming to town, who has completely fell apart since the Christian McCaffrey injury. You're going to have them at home. You have an opportunity to be over 500 to end this month. Not trying to sit here and say that we're really perfect, but at the end of the day, to me, we're in a better position than we were to start this month. And the Falcons have a golden opportunity to possibly go over 500 next week against Carolina. It's going to be an interesting game for them next week. despite the fact of how up and down this game was, they found a way to win, and that's what matters at the end of the day. Also, gonna get this out the way. I don't know what's going on with Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is not the guy that he needs to be yet. I think Calvin Ridley is an incredible talent, but I don't know if something's going on with Calvin Ridley mentally. I don't know if something's going on with him as far as being a number one, but he's not where he needs to be at right now, and Calvin Ridley needs to tighten up, because if you're going to be the wide receiver one for the future, you're not going to be able to have these days where you just flat out don't show up, because at this moment, let me pull a stat line so I can get it to match what I'm talking about with you guys. 1 second. Again, big win for the Falcons. They needed to pull that one out because that was turning out to be a typical Falcon loss. Side note, for anybody that is a Vegas freak, I think they covered the spread. I think it was a 2.5 Falcon thing. I think that you won the spread if you bet the Falcons. So just to go ahead and throw that out to you. But okay, let me pull the stats up real quick because I'm looking at the stats. I'm about to pull it up. Amy, I agree 100%. I just saw this comment. She said he's a football player like Cordero Patterson. I agree. He's positionless. And to me, I think that's going to end up becoming the name more prevalent in this league, because I just don't know if you can. Can't necessarily put Kyle Pitts as a flat tight end. I think he's more than a tight end. I think he can be a receiver. He can play multiple positions because he's so versatile around the field. Let's see. Quincy said it's a much better start than the last couple of years. Absolutely. Way better start than it has been the last couple of years. Again, it makes me angry that we let that Washington game get away from us. We could be 4-2 right now. This would be a different ball game if we don't let that Washington game get away from us. But again, the Falcons have an opportunity to really run off a winning streak these next couple of weeks, because again, you got Carolina. I don't know what New Orleans team we're going to see in 2 weeks. So at least get these guys going. Let's see. Quentin Butler, he said, let's talk about the defense. What's going on? Like at the end of the game, the Dolphins were going to let the Falcons score. So basically, what's going on, bro? First thing first. This defense, I don't understand them. I don't know if it's the scheme and they don't understand the scheme. I don't know if it's Dean Pease. I don't know if it's the talent. But these guys play way too much zone. That's number one. Let me get that out of the way. They play way too much zone. They're often lost in coverage. I know towards the end of that game, Foye and Luakon was getting lost in coverage. Deion Jones had his up and down moments. The secondary they got to a point where you knew the two guys that they were going to use was Myles Gaskin and Mike Gesicki, and they had no answer for either of them late in that game. Thankfully, we pulled a win out, because that would have been the most embarrassing thing about it. So the Falcons need to figure out what fits their scheme better, because to me, I don't really know what to think about this defense from time to time. To me, they want to – Pease is one of those guys. He want to blitz, but I don't see a lot of blitzing. Or if they do blitz, it's not a solid blitz. Either they're lost, either they're blitzing on one side. It's confusing watching this defensive line. I gotta be honest. It's confusing watching this defense from time to time, because 1 minute they're in a whole bunch of man, the next minute they're in a whole bunch of zone, and it's just all over the place right now. And I think it's a combination of not understanding this defense, a comment of not getting the talent. Hold on. TBK News was going on. He said, Kyle, this clutch. Yes, he is. That was a big win. That was a big move for him. Tevin said there really is not a number one. Ben said we'll miss Julio getting double teamed, doing all the dirty work. Should have easily been 4-2, just like I said, but a win is a win. Absolutely. I think the Falcons definitely, he's not ready to be a wide receiver one. I think wide receiver 2 fits him best. Amy said we need to pray for him. Legit concerned that people are over there making fun of him. So there is something wrong with Calvin Ridley, because Calvin Ridley, I don't know if it's just the Julio factor, but even when Julio went down for that stretch last year, Calvin Ridley was still productive. Him and Russell Gage were still moving the ball. So I don't know what's going on with him, to be honest with you guys, but it is something there. Kevin said it's a mixture of both, of not much talent and not understanding. Yes, it is. I agree on both of those. I think both sides is an issue. I don't think we have a lot of talent up front in that front, especially the defensive line. Outside of Grady, nobody gets pressure. Dante Fowler's hurt, so that's another issue. Linebacker core, Dion and Foy, I think they're out of position a lot. They're out of position a lot. So it's a combination of not understanding the scheme. And I know I said on Facebook earlier that we could move Deion Jones. If he doesn't fit the scheme, I'm all for that. If he cannot fit the scheme, I'm all on board with moving him. So that's where I stand with that. Tevin said too much soft zone when we have zero. I agree. We run a ton of zone, and I don't understand that about us. And that we kept getting caught in this game, especially in the second half. Kevin's also said they have to bring in position for free agent. We don't really have a lot of money. That's the problem. They should bring in the some people here and there, but I don't think we have the money to really do it. Amy said, I miss having the number one cornerback. Yeah, I think AJ Terrell's a solid number 2. He's very, very good. I just don't think he's a number one corner right now. Jordan, what's going on, bro? He said, this defense concerns me. I'm glad we won, but he need to step up major. Yeah, this defense definitely is a huge concern for me. Let's see. Kevin Kendall said Melvin Ingram is available. He also said that Odell's available. Odell would definitely not be a Falcon at this rate. Quincy said, do you think our defense is a little undersized for Dan's scheme? I absolutely do. Because our defense was undersized to run Raheem Morris and Dan Quinn's scheme. Because we tried to build Seattle East and it just wasn't there for us. So, that was an issue that we were dealing with. Quentin Butler said, what's going on, bro? He said, I disagree. Ridley is a number one. What a receiver. I'm not saying that he's the number one receiver for this season. He's not the number one guy that I'm trusting going forward unless something is mentally going on with him. I'm not going to just sit here and go, Calvin Ridley's an easily number one right now. Calvin can be a number one, but right now he's just out of it. Amy said, I only like Grady. I think everyone feel that way. Tevin said, yeah, but that's the unfalcon thing to do. Yeah, that's true. Amber, what's going on, cousin? How you doing? Amy said, I'm a Clemson fan and I love him, but he's not number one. No, he's really a good number 2. If we can go get a solid number 2, we'll really be straight. If we get a number 1 corner, we will really be fine. But the problem is he's asked to play the number 1 receiver. He's not ready to do that yet. And we're not the biggest guys in that secondary either. So speaking of the secondary, I don't know how everyone's watching feel about this, but I am sick of Eric Harris and Deron Harmon getting snaps. They need to give guys like Richie Grant and Jalen Hawkins, who had an interception this game, let the young guys get an opportunity to make an impact in this game. Don't draft Richie Grant second round and don't give him more snaps. He needs more snaps in the game because Eric Harris is either hurt, missing the tackle, missed their interception. Give Richie Grant an opportunity to start. Give him a chance to start. Same for Jalen Hawkins. He had a good end of 2020. Give him a chance to start. AJ Evans said that the pass coverage is high. I know Foye made an INT, but dude had a bad read to allow your second to get inside the 10. Yes, I agree. He messed up really, really bad on that play. He messed up real bad. I don't know what he saw in that play that ended up leading to them taking the lead. Let's see. Tevin, what's going on, bro? Said Hawkins is nice. You were on the money with that one. Yes, he came on at the end of 2020, which I'm not understanding why they didn't go ahead and say we're going to start you and Deron can back you up. Same for Richie Grant. You're going to bring in Richie Grant as a second rounder, and you're going to let Eric Harris back him up. I don't understand why Dean Pease want to run with this veteran movement. Number one, Deron Harmon, he's same age as me. I'm 30 years old. Deron Harmon is way past his prime. He may be older than me, to be honest with you guys. But Deron Harmon, you probably remember him in New England, Detroit. He's not that good. He needs to be a backup. Eric Harris, another guy, nice backup piece, not a starter. Get this man out the starting lineup. Amy said, I find myself missing Dante here. I know. At least he was going to hit somebody. That is so true. John, what's going on, bro? He said Ridley is not a number one, easily number two or slot receiver. He lacks confidence and mentally isn't ready to be the number one option. I absolutely agree with that. He's not ready to be a number one option. I think he thought he was ready to be a number one option. And he's had his opportunities in his offense. But right now, to me, Ridley's the third option on the team. To be honest, he really is the third option behind Cordero Patterson and Kyle Pitts. To me, he's the third option on the team at this moment. And you're wide receiver one. It's not good. You gotta be able to make an impact. If you're gonna, and also Calvin Ridley's gonna be up for a contract soon. If you're gonna be getting a big contract to stay a Falcon down the road, you're gonna have to step up. Still a long season to go, still 11 games remaining, but still through the first 6, you have not really taken that extra leap that everyone thought in 2020. Joseph, what's going on, bro? He said Ridley did get himself together after that hit and made a first. Yes, he did. He made an absolutely great clutch first down on that play. I was absolutely proud of him for doing that. But he's has his ups and downs throughout the game, and that's the rough part about him. Amy said, Grimes played way above his height at the time when he was on the team. And I think that's another thing with this team. I don't know if they understand the scheme. I really don't. I don't think they understand this game. John said, really ask yourself, is Ridley on the same level as DeAndre Hopkins or Devontae Adams? He's nowhere near their level. No, he's not nowhere near their level. But I do feel that for his role, it's supposed to be a wide receiver one for the Falcons, he needs to step up. Okay, let me pull up these stats real quick. I said I was going to pull them up a moment ago. I just hadn't done it. Hold on, guys. Let me do it right now. But I will say this, just to kind of, I don't want to start speaking about this too far because we're 500. So, I mean, we're not one of the worst teams in the league at this point. But I will put it like this. I feel like the Falcons, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to talk about these stats real quick. So, okay, first thing first. Matt Ryan threw for 336, 2 touchdowns in the interception that pick really wasn't on him. And then he had a fumble. I will say this. Outside of that pick and that fumble, Matt Ryan really had a really, really solid game. He's been solid the last couple weeks, to be honest with you. And I think he's starting to gain. I think he's starting to really get comfortable with this offensive scheme from Arthur Smith. So I'm looking forward to see what he's going to bring to the table more with that. Quentin said, okay, so is Justin Jefferson considered number one if he's on the Falcons? Yes, he would be. I would consider him as our wide receiver one if he was a Falcon. That's truly what I would consider him as a wide receiver. But to me, I think he would be. Let me think. That's a good question, Hugh. That's a good question. I think he would be a wide receiver too, simply because there will be another guy on the team to take a lot of pressure off of Calvin Ridley. I think that's another thing that he may not be able to adjust to yet because as a wide receiver one, like again, we had Julio. He relieved a lot of the times where Julio was being double teamed or even had certain coverages being thrown at him. So I think that could be the thing for Calvin Ridley. I think we probably need to get another receiver, which brings me to what I was about to say before I talk about these stats. I think that the Falcons just thinking way down the road. I really believe that the Falcons need to go best player available in the first round of the draft. Quarterback will no longer, in my personal opinion, be the number one pick for the Falcons because the quarterback class is absolutely awful. Let me go ahead and put that out there. I don't like nobody in this class outside of Desmond Ridder out of Cincinnati, and even him, I would make him as a backup to Matt Ryan. So I want to go ahead and get that out of the way. I think that's one of the things that the Falcons is going to have to do in this draft. You're going to have to go for the best talent available. Do not try to balance it on having a win now scheme or anything like that. You need to get the best pieces available to make yourself better. But let me go to the comments. Amy said Hops is very special. Yes, he is. He's one of the best receivers in the league. JD said that unpopular opinion, the Chiefs are worse than the Falcons. Yikes. Don't know if I would go that far, but they're not that good right now. They could miss the postseason the way they're playing. And if Patrick Mahomes is out for any period of time, that season is over for the Kansas City Chiefs. And that would be the Chargers division to lose. Also, he said, unpopular opinion that Cincinnati is going to win their division. Cincinnati is way further ahead of schedule than they should be, and I really like that team. I really like the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase combo. I think that team has so much potential going forward. I like watching that team. Amy said they're real trash. And JD also said that the worst quarterback class in the last 13 years. Probably so. Probably so. They're one of the worst. Because I'm not taking any of these guys to be my QB1 right now. And Spencer Rattler, just to throw his name out there, was gonna probably be a high first round pick, but then he got his job lost by Caleb Williams. We gotta go here and talk college. Remind me, guys, stay on me about talking college. I would love to talk college with you guys on here. But let's look at the stat line. Like I said, Matt Ryan threw for 336 and 2 touchdowns. Tua ended up throwing for 4 touchdowns. We let Tua start looking like he was a solid quarterback out there. That man played way above his stats today. And a lot of it had to do with the Falcons being the Falcons. So, again, Matt got sacked one time. Let me give credit to the offensive line. The offensive line has played very, very well over the last couple of weeks. The line, I know Amy's saying no. I will say that they're improved. They're getting better each week. I'll say that. They're getting better each week. They're not nowhere where they should be, but the line has gotten better every single week. And also, did anybody miss Caleb McGarry? Did anyone? I can't wait for the comments. Did anybody notice that Caleb McGarry was hurt? Anyone? I was just watching the comments before I respond to this. Anybody? Joseph Coleman said that the offensive line is definitely playing better. And JD said, I wish he could too. I really wish he could. Because I think he would be the perfect running back for that scheme. And let's see, everyone said they didn't know that, they didn't even notice. Yes, Caleb McGarry's out. But you wouldn't have noticed it because the line did not play bad. Matt got sacked one time. Even with, I don't consider, getting certain pressures as him getting sacked. He had time to throw the ball today. So that's another thing. As you can see, Cordero Patterson has 60 yards, 14 carries, and a touchdown. Myles Gaskin, who we act like we couldn't stop, had 15 for 67 and no touchdowns. Kyle Pitts led the team in receiving. Amy says she didn't notice. Let's see. Kyle Pitts had 7 for $163. Russell Gage, 4 for 67. He had that 49-yard touchdown reception. That was a good big play for Matt to Russell Gage. That was one of his best throws of the year. Mike Gesicki led the Dolphins with receiving 7 catches for 85. Jalen Waddle had 7 for 83. So as you see, it was a pretty balanced day at the office in the passing attack on both sides. But let's go to the defensive stats. Deion Jones and Louis Khan led the teams in tackles. Deion had a sack and a quarterback hit, and Louis Khan had a big-time interception. That's another thing. As much as I've given the defense a hard time as far as their ups and downs, Louis Khan made a big play on one of the dumbest plays of the day. That's side note. What did y'all think about that sequence? That sequence where Ridley has the ball get picked off out of his hand, and then Tua throws to, I don't know who he was throwing to, that ended up turning into the Falcon touchdown that we got early in the fourth quarter. Don't know what was going on with that. That was the weirdest sequence I ever seen. Another thing from that game, Olamide Zaccheaus, stop putting your foot around the football. Step away from the football. We dodged a major bullet early in the fourth because he had the ball go through his legs. You are not a catcher. You are not an outfielder. Let that ball go if you're not going to feel it. Just had to get it out of the way. Amy said she hated the draft. TD did terrible. Yes, TD had his up. TD, I'll say this. Lindstrom was a complete hit. Caleb McGarry getting traded up for was the complete disaster from that class. Awful pick. Joseph said, I think Miles Davis is trying too hard and watching a guy that's literally not a running back make better plays than he is. Yes, I think he's trying to come out and make that splash of that big, oh man, here we go. this is me. I'm making this big move. I got this going forward. No, you don't need to do all that. Q said that TD set us up big time. TD, I think, and that's another. And let me get this out of the way too. This is why I kind of get a little upset when I see. I know a lot of you Falcon fans are into the chat. Hold on. Let me go to this real quick. Are you willing to sacrifice a Falcon season for the next 3 years for a Braves World Series win? We can gladly skip over the Falcons for at least a season. They can have the rest of this season. Give me a World Series ring, Braves in 6. Amy said, "Go Braves." That's right. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to Tuesday. Let me tell you. I'm saying I'm gonna talk. I am gonna talk more about the Braves tomorrow on the stream. But we have not been to the World Series since I was 8 years old. My bad. I said 9. It was 99. I was 8 years old. So, hey, I'm excited. I can't wait. Amy said that Davis will be like a Michael. That's what I was thinking he could turn into as a Michael Turner. But it's like I don't know if he's trying to like Joseph said. I think he's trying too hard. I think he wants to. He sees that Cordero Patterson. Side note: I hope everybody got Cordero Patterson in their fantasy lineups that don't have him already. Because if you missed out on him, please get him in your lineup. He's been so productive for the Falcons in fantasy football. You need to have him in your lineup. But I do agree. I thought Mike Davis would come in as a Mike Turner type guy and make a big play, make a big impact. But I think he's trying, like you said, he's trying too hard. I think he wants to wow the fan base just like everyone else was doing, and you don't need to do all that. But I do agree. Mike Davis needs to stop trying too hard. Amy said she was 18. Oh, okay, you're 18. Yeah. So, we're 10 years apart. I forgot. But, yeah, the Falcons found a way to win, and that's all that matters. Because the reality of the situation for the Falcons is this. They're 3-3. You got a bad Carolina Panther football team coming to town. Side note, I'm very disappointed with the Carolina Panthers. I knew they hadn't played nobody. I knew they started 3-0. They were definitely not as good as they tried to say that they were. But the Falcons completely they're finding themselves at 3-3. Carolina's 3-4. They have fell apart after that 3-0 start. Because, and to be honest with you, outside of the Dallas Cowboys, they really haven't played a tough opponent. Minnesota was beatable. The Giants, that should have been an easy win for them today, but the Giants smoked them today. But that team is falling apart again. They start hot, then they start fizzling out. That could be a win for the Falcons. Then you got yourself going to New Orleans in 2 weeks in New Orleans. I don't know about New Orleans Saints. I don't. The Saints are a tricky team right now. I don't know. I'm not saying that we're going to win that game. Mike, what's going on, big bro? So y'all Falcons ain't going to do. Chill out, bro. Chill out. We just here to play. We just here so we won't be fine. But again, the Falcons, it depends on. Mike said we're going to win. I didn't say you're not. I said there's a possibility. I said there's a major possibility. Amy said that Carolina is way more garbage than us ghosts. Like they are. I thought that the Panthers had turned the stride, was going to be solid this year after that 3-0 start. And really, like I said, and they got angry when we told them they didn't play nobody. Because I'm going to put it like this. We know we don't like the New Orleans Saints, but you can't sit here and get excited about beating the Saints when half of their roster was out dealing with COVID. There's nothing to get excited about. The Saints weren't even 100% when they went in there and played that game in Carolina. And they're sitting here popping off like, hey, we're 3-0. We did this and we did that. No, sir. You're not. You're nowhere near where you need to be at. They started 3-0, and it was definitely fool's gold. Look what's going on. I was looking for you. He said Pip showed up. Also, what's up, dude? What's going on, man? Yes, Kyle Pitts did show up. He definitely showed up. Mike said we look good. No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I'm intrigued to see what y'all going to like against Seattle on Monday night. Because that game's winnable for the Saints for sure. No Russ. You got Geno Smith right there starting. They should win that game. JD said that the Panthers are too young. They're not there. Thank you. They're not there yet. And the thing is, I think they're going to have to, unfortunately, start looking at life. They're going to start looking at life after Christian McCaffrey because he's one injury away from being a Luke Kuechly. And I hate to say that because Luke was an amazing player for the Carolina Panthers, but this guy can't stay healthy. So it's hard. Amy said she lived in the state. I remember that, Amy. JD said that he'll say before, he said again, I'm not sold on Carolina or New Orleans. New Orleans didn't lose too much. The only thing I'm still trying to figure out really I don't know about the Saints offense. That defense is still good enough to win football games for them. I just don't know a lot about their offense. I haven't really got a chance to see them outside of I've seen them a couple times on and off the season, but I don't really know a lot about their offense because they don't really have a true number one. Michael Thomas is still out. He has not played at all this season. So I don't know what's going to happen in that situation. Kamara's Kamara. And the receiving corps, I'm not really sure. I know Marquez Callaway stepped up here and there. I'm not really sure. I got to watch a little more of the Saints to see where they stand before we play them. Amy said, I hate it for him. It does. So, yes, I like Christian McCaffrey, but he just can't stay healthy. Luke said, Cool saved the day for us. Yes, he did. He definitely saved the day for us. And he said it is awful that he has to win it for us. Hey, that's what it's have. One thing, let me go ahead and put this out here. The Falcons can be awful at every position in the world, but we always tend to hit at kicker. This was because I'll be honest with you guys, I did not want him when he was brought in here. I'm like, no, this man was horrible in San Diego. This was before he became the LA Chargers. He was horrible in San Diego. I don't want him. But then he tightened up. So it was just amazing that he's turned into a Pro Bowl kicker. He actually is one of my favorite players on the team. I need to get his jersey. JD said that the hardest opponents will be the 49ers and the Bills. To me, the Falcons are in a tricky spot now at 3-3 because there's a multiple winnable games. We have not even played the Jaguars yet. That's a winnable game. You don't know what Carolina team's going to show up. You win the Carolina game next week, you're 4-3. You still got a tough 49er team, Bill team, Bucks down the road. Saints is always going to be a toss-up. It could be a split. You never know what you're going to get. So the schedule is interesting. Let's just see how it goes as we go along. Dallas is going to be a tough game in a couple weeks. We'll know a lot about ourselves in that Dallas game. So not really sure. Amy said, always, yes, we always manage to find a solid kicker. JD said, Cool has proven himself. Yeah, he did prove himself right pre-pandemic. He was definitely proving himself down there. I was definitely proud of him. Luke said what happened to Mike at the end. Not really sure. I'm not sure. He looked like he got hurt and went to the sideline at the end of the game. But yeah, that's just my recap on the Falcons. It was a good win for the Falcons. Ugly, but a dub is a dub for the Falcons. Again, we're 3-3. Should be 4-2. We're going to leave that Washington game alone. Tevin said, Cool to go. Yes, he is. We'll leave that Washington game alone, even though that's the game that got away from us. But the Falcons are 3-3 coming home. We got Carolina this upcoming week. That team is falling apart at the seams. This will be a perfect time to take advantage of it next week. And the Falcons have some winnable games ahead of them in the up and coming months. So we're going to see what's going to happen with this Falcon team. We're going to get a chance to talk a lot more about it. JD said he loved the last possession. Matt Ryan said he wasn't going to lose this one. He definitely pulled that one out for us. Washington got away from us. That game right there, if we're 4-2 now, we're having a whole different conversation about this Falcon team. But again, I'll take 3-3 because at the end of the day, when I first did the schedule preview early in the year, I said 3-3, I would be satisfied with it. And we're 3-3. I'm satisfied with that. So again, the Falcons got a big win. Tomorrow around 7, I'm going to talk about these guys right here. These guys, the National League champs. So if you want to hop on here, talk baseball with me, we're going to talk about the Astro series coming up. We're going to talk about how the Braves got here. Again, Falcons had a good win, a great into the weekend. We had no Georgia football, so the Falcons and the Braves came through for us. And, hey, salute to these guys, the National League champs. But Big win, Atlanta Falcons. Y'all have a good rest of the day. I'm going to go tune in to this Tampa Bay Chicago game and tune in for the rest of these games at 4 o'clock. JD said his birthday wishes the Braves win it all. You probably going to get close to that wish. So everybody have a good day. Thank you for tuning in to the stream. Again, if you have anything you ever want to hop on here and talk to me about, let me know. Let me know because I would love to do that. I appreciate all of the support. Every stream that I do every single week, I'm going to get on here a little more often. The Hawks are back. Georgia's getting to the second half stretch of the year, so you're going to hear me talk a lot more about those things. But y'all have a good afternoon, and I will see you guys on Facebook or talk to you when I talk to you. Have a good day.